Hi there guys, welcome back to the channel. It's time for the Palace preview. Next game is of course away at West Ham tomorrow. We'll be there, not really looking forward to it. Obviously just about got over what happened earlier in the week. Be sure to check out my review of that game. Not going to mention it too much because I did a massive 17 odd minute long video, just not really ranting, but just kept talking and chatting about the Brighton game. So be sure to check that out if you're interested, but I'm sure, like myself, a lot of you just want to get it out of your system. So let's move on then. We got the West Ham game coming up. And it's one of the worst stadiums I've been to in terms of away grounds. I don't really like the layout. It's an athletic stadium. You're so far from the pitch. The atmosphere loses all its sound. It's not great. It's not a great ground, but and we know we're not in great form, and we're not in good form at that stadium. Haven't won there yet. We're on a end of a thumping a few years ago with Andy Carroll's bicycle kick. So, and it sounds like Andy Carroll's going to be back fit as well for West Ham. So, and then you look at the two teams on top of that. We're on awful form, as I said, and West Ham are doing very well. They're starting to click now after their poor start to the season. I think because of all the new signings, new manager, it took a while for them to gel and to start playing the way that Pellegrini wants them to. But now it's starting to click, and they're looking really dangerous, really threatening. They look like a great team. And yeah, I'm just not confident. I'm not confident at all anymore. We're going to be in a relegation battle this season, and I think this is a game that if we get anything out of, I think it'll be a point gained rather than 2 points dropped if we get a draw. But anyway, let's go into the team lineup. Probably one of the hardest ones I've had to predict this season because of how poor we were. The same, as I said before, the same lineup against Brighton, played against Burnley. Our worst game of the season and our best game of the season, we had the same team. So it makes you think like what's going on. In my opinion, if we have a fully fit striker, and by that I mean Benteke, if he's back fit, which he won't be until probably New Year, in my opinion. But even so, I think Sorloth or Wickham, I think or Ayew, whoever it is, I think we have to start one of them, change it back to a 4-3-3. Because I think that's our best formation. I think when everyone's fit, 4-3-3 or defensively like 4-2-3-1 when the wingers drop back in defence. That I think historically that's been our best formation. I think that we get the most out of our wingers doing that. Zaha and Townsend are much better out wide than in the middle, drifting out wide. Although, as I said, we smashed up Burnley in that 4-4-2. I think 4-4-2 is the perfect plan B when we don't have a striker option. But then, of course, we're very inconsistent. That's the main thing. We play so inconsistent at the moment. We can win one game, get a point, and then lose two or three. We can't get a string of results together. That's been our problem for a while now. But anyway, I changed the formation. I think we need a complete change up. After Tuesday, and by complete change up I mean formation and some of the players. So for me, the team will be Hennessy in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Tomkins, Sacco, Vanano. I wouldn't change the back four, even though they're all poor. One of Wan-Bissaka's worst games. They were all shocking on Tuesday, but that being said, there's no one, you can't really replace any of them. I think it was just an off day. I'm hoping it's just a really off day for all of them, and we don't see that sort of performance again. Because if we see that sort of performance again, then it'll be extremely worrying. Then the midfield two, Chiarte and Luca. Again, Luca might be dropped. I'm not quite sure. I need to check that. If he is dropped, then MacArthur I'd put there alongside Chiarte. And then Maya ahead of them. And then obviously Zaha, Townsend, and I would personally play Connor Wickham up front if he's fit. Again, it sounded like he was fit for Brighton to be in the squad, but he wasn't even on the bench, which was disappointing. So if that's the case and he's not on the bench or in the squad again, then I'd rather start Sorloth over Ayew personally, because I think a larger target man. I know he's been shocking for us so far, and he really struggled to adapt to the Premier League. But I just feel that even so, I think that sort of striker on his own up front needs to have some sort of physical attributes, because Ayew on his own up front is worse than Sorloth on his own up front, if you get what I mean. Both of them have been poor. Both of them can't score. We can't score in general. we're second bottom in the table in terms of percentage of chances taken. I think we've only scored 19% of our shots. Or chances created, so that, and we're second bottom. Huddersfield the only team worse than us, which is extremely poor. We're second worst in terms of goals scored. We're just goals has been such a problem with us. But I think that again, if we're going historically with Palace in recent years, we always have a target man up front, and I think we play better when we can play off of a target man. So that's why I play Sorloth. If we go over to the West Ham point of view, I assume there'll be changes, of course, because Arnautovic's injured, which is good for us because he's been one of their best players, if not their best player over the last few seasons. There's obviously the debate between him and Zaha. I'll leave you guys in the comments to discuss that because I don't want to get involved in that debate. And I think it's obvious who's better, in my opinion. If you're going just technical ability alone, who the better player is, I don't think there's any doubt who it is. But I'll leave you guys to discuss that in the comments. And then, of course, the one that I think is they're going to be the most dangerous for them is, especially with Arnautovic out, will be Felipe Anderson. He's slow start again. As was West Ham in general, this is the start of this season, but he's been brilliant in recent weeks. He's scoring bundles of goals, he's setting up goals. Him and Hernandez will be key to their success, and we'll have to definitely watch out for both of them. I think they're the two main threats in that West Ham side right now, and the way we defended against Brighton, it's going to have to be a massive switch up. We're going to have to change it up big time in terms of our mentality and tempo and grit if we're going to stop West Ham scoring and stop them performing the way they have been. In terms of at the back as well, I think they concede goals. They conceded one against Cardiff when they probably shouldn't have. They were 3-0 up at the time. So they don't keep clean sheets too often. But that being said, we've got to put away the chances when they come, and that's, as I said, being our main problem. So it's hard to predict because one week it could all click, but it doesn't. There's no sign, there's no hint of that happening anytime soon. So I can't really say that it will against West Ham, especially the way West Ham are playing. Not confident at all. But with Arnautovic out, I think they may rotate some players. I'm hoping they do anyway. With the Christmas schedule and all that, we could have a chance. And if Roy, I doubt Roy's the sort of guy to absolutely lose his shit and have a go at the team. Apologies for language there, but I'm not sure he's the sort of guy who typically does that. But if he really lays it into the team this week in training and gets a reaction, then we can trouble West Ham. But it's going to be very, very difficult. So in terms of score prediction, I'm going to predict a 1-1 draw. I'm going to be. It's a very boring scoreline, and it's not really what we need. We need 3 points at the moment, even though we're very lucky that we're still 3 points clear of the bottom 3. But I would take a draw away the way we played midweek and the way West Ham are playing right now, and our form at the London Stadium. As I said, the fans I think will be trying to get up for it, but same as last season, it's very hard to. So hard to get an atmosphere going in that ground. But I'll be singing 90 minutes as always. I'm sure you guys, whoever's going, will be. Leave your comments down below what your score predictions are, how you think the game will go. Are you feeling any confident at all? Because I'm not. It's all just a bit down and miserable, and that's why we need a result. A win will change everyone's mentality and will get us a bit more upbeat. So hopefully the players come out and put in just a big shift and performance to make up for that Tuesday humiliation. That's all I'm really looking for personally in this one, and then we kick on because we've got games that are winnable, much more winnable than West Ham after that, in my opinion. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Leave your comments below. Of course, guys, hit the link in the description for sportscases.com. Really cool sports themed cases. Christmas around the corner. There's discounts on the store plus a 10% discount at checkout if you use the code red and blue. Hit the link down below to go straight there so you can get massive discounts on that. They're going really cheap at the moment. I recommend it. Yeah, follow the social channels and all that good stuff, and thank you guys for watching. I'll be vlogging the game tomorrow, back to the regular schedule if you like in terms of vlogs. So thank you guys. I'll see you next time.